Are you ready for a Lumix cinema camera? Alright, I just got done with a video shoot and it was with the S5 IIX. Alright, kind of rigged out, like semi-rigged out. And it was a B-roll shoot. It was pretty simple, nothing a whole lot to it. But I've been thinking about that BlackMagic Pyxis 6K that, was just announced kind of before NAB 2024. At the time of shooting this, it was this year. And I am wondering, are you ready for a Lumix cinema camera? I just wrote some notes down. This is kind of off the cuff a little bit, so I just, on a little note card here. So I already know that there's, a Lumix box cam, right? I know that there's the S5, the S1H, which is Netflix approved. I know that there's the S5 IIX, but these are all kind of like hybrid cameras, right? Other than the box cams that still have some old technology, but I think that we are primed for a Lumix cinema camera. Primed. I think we're ready. Are you ready for a Lumix cinema camera? And as I was kind of looking at the BlackMagic Pyxis 6K, and the more I was looking at the specs, honestly, that camera really intrigues me just with some of the features that it has. BlackMagic, it's going to integrate with DaVinci Resolve so well. And I really like the thought of that camera. I don't even mind the screen on the side of it. Like, it doesn't have to have like a flip out screen or anything. A V-mount battery on the S5 IIX anyway, like my screen is off to the side. So when I have it rigged out, I have the screen off to the side anyway. As I was thinking about that camera and as I was thinking about the cameras that I use, thanks to Lumix, the S5 IIX, I think that we are so primed for a Lumix cinema camera, a cinema line possibly. I envision the Sony FX3, FX30, FX6, FX6, see if I can spit that out. And here is why it is time for a Lumix cinema camera line. First of all, on these hybrid cameras, we have all of the professional cinema cam features anyway, right? Like we have waveform on there, we have vector scope, we have focus, peaking, we have zebra stripes. All of those things are cinema camera features that are already built into a camera like the S5 IIX or a camera like the GH6, right? We have all of these cinema camera features already, and I know that there's talk like internal NDs and things like that. Those don't have to be on a cinema camera line. Maybe like a higher price point piece of it, maybe that would be in there. And now when I'm talking about a cinema line, like it's getting rid of the hybrid piece of these Lumix cameras, right? So like the EVF, it can go. We're putting monitors and things on this anyway. A lot of the photography settings can go if you're looking for that pro cinema line with a lot of these cameras. You don't necessarily need the photography settings in there. I'm not necessarily a photographer hybrid shooter, but I use these hybrid cameras anyway just because the video specs are so good, and I love the Lumix color, which I'll get to in a sec. I feel like it's a very simple step for Lumix. Maybe not, but I feel like it would be a simple step to get rid / the hybrid piece of these cameras and just go cinema line. So you have all those built-in features already. There's some that, because I'm like talking off the top of my head, there's some that I'm probably missing, but just having those, you know what they are. You watch my videos, you watch other Lumix videos, you know what those cinema features are. If not, make sure you go to my page and scroll through those, subscribe so that you don't miss any future videos that come out about these Lumix cameras. But one of the things that stuck out about the Pyxis 6K is just that 6K open gate setting, which we already have. So that's a feature that is not going to have to be an addition to. It's something that's already here with the full frame sensor that Lumix has. We already have that 6K open gate. Another reason we're primed for this cinema line from Lumix, a possible cinema line from Lumix, is just the new features that came in the latest edition. At the time of filming this, the latest edition firmware update, which is like camera to cloud to frame IO, proxy recording. All of those features right there are just primed. I keep using that word. I know. I need to come up with another word. But it's ready for a Lumix cinema line. And the more that I think about it, especially with this BlackMagic 6K, this Pyxis 6K that was just announced, why is there not a Lumix cinema line like this? Like the FX3, that type of style. Not necessarily, maybe a box camera style. And I know there's, the B series FX3 style of a Lumix. Okay, so we have those new features like the camera to cloud, frame IO, proxy recording, all of those things. We have the external SSD recording, right? We have HDMI output. Another reason we're primed for a cinema camera line from Lumix is just, the V-Log color is fantastic, and the dynamic range that you get with it, and then some of those convert LUTs that you can place on that V-Log footage. It's clean, it looks so good. But then you add like internal ProRes. We have internal ProRes recording on here, or to an SSD drive ProRes recording. We have raw output through HDMI, B-raw output through HDMI. So I think there's got to be like some kind of marriage between like this BlackMagic cinema line, this new one, and like the Lumix, a possible Lumix cinema line. I don't know, maybe I'm just dreaming, maybe I'm just like imagining things, but I feel like the time is right. I feel like the moment is here for this Lumix cinema line. So already on the S5 IIX, you have like that all intro recording. High bitrate recording that you can do in this hybrid body. Now, if we get rid of that hybrid piece of it, just with all of these features already that we have, just in a cinema line. And maybe I'm making too big of a deal of it. Let me know down in the comments. Am I just like, coming up with crazy things that we don't need because we already have these cameras, like the S5 IIX and the GH6, the S5 II. Do we even need a cinema line? Let me know down in the comments what you think about that. We can get a conversation started down there. But again, I was just looking at the Pyxis 6K from BlackMagic and the FX3 from Sony, and I just feel like we're primed. It's time for a Lumix cinema line like those cameras. And I've probably talked about this before in videos. I know that I've talked to Lumix about, like the FX3 and having that style camera, but from Lumix. I would be all over that. That would be my workflow right there. I would get rid of the hybrid system. I would want to hold on to it just because it'll play well with the cinema line. Video centric, everything video. I haven't even gotten to like the Micro Four Thirds yet. Imagine what you could do with the Micro Four Thirds in that type of a line as well. You now have the autofocus settings, like with the G9 II on the Micro Four Thirds system. If Lumix came out with a cinema line, it would actually absolutely kill. Absolutely kill. Okay, well, I just had some thoughts. I wrote them down real quick. I was kind of in the zone, so I just wanted to record a quick video. Again, this is it. There's nothing like announced or anything, but I was just thinking about that Pyxis 6K. I was thinking about Lumix. I was thinking about a marriage between the two. I was thinking about Lumix's own cinema line. I just had a lot of thoughts. I had to get them out. This is so scattered. Have a great day.